This is going to be the code walkthrough for the media server app. So this is an Android app using Java as the programming language, and I'm going to walk through a few of the most important functions. Um, I've One of the functionalities that I need for this code is the ability to pick a directory inside of the Android phone, and it's this directly chooser dialog. I've imported it, and the source is here. I haven't changed anything, but I'm just using this function so I can use a button to call it and select a folder. Okay, and it comes with those two files. The main function that I've created is called server handler. This is an async task, so it basically runs in a different thread. So in Android, you have the main thread for the UI, and then you have, or at least you're supposed to use different threads for your background tasks. This indeed makes the app go faster because the UI doesn't freeze while you're trying to do some background tasks. Um, for this class to work, you need the IP address of the remote host. For now, I'm defaulting to port 22. Maybe in the future, I'll give the user the ability to change the port, but for now, that's hard coded. And then it also takes the username and password. I have a class type called media object, and later on, this class type is going to be transformed into a JSON file, and it's really simple. You only have the file name, the file location, and then a boolean indicating if it has been uploaded to the server or not. And I have arrays of those. So an array that I call local media is for the media that is still in the phone, and then an array that I call server media, which is the files or the media that there's already being uploaded to the server. Um, this boolean here, test connection, indicates if I'm using the server handler just to test if the server is still there, or if it's not, it's a normal use. I'm just trying to upload the files, and then I also check if the connection was successful or not. Okay, um, I have all the functions here, but so I'm inheriting a async task. So the way I'm supposed to use it, I have three main functions here. Let me collapse them so it's easier to see. Okay, so I have on progress update, doing background, on post execute, and on pre-execute. So it's basically whenever I start the server, this is what I'm gonna do. So in this case, if I'm doing a test connection, I'll do this. In this case, it's just I disable the button, um, and then I show that it's loading. This activity here is important because I'm kind of referencing the activity what I'm calling from. So if I'm doing it on setup, I'll be referencing setup here. But if I'm doing this on um, the class media upload, which is let me show you here. There's media upload here. Oh, it's up here. This is the main, which is basically the home of the app. So I could be referencing it. Okay, so um, on create here, no, sorry, go back to server handler. And it just set as loading, otherwise I'll do the same thing, but in this media upload instead of setup, okay? And then on progress update, it's basically giving it a status while the background task is happening. In this case, I'm just setting if the media was uploaded successfully, I'm gonna let the user know the name of the media that has been uploaded. So instead of a progress bar, it's like media X has been uploaded, then I display the name, and so it goes into the end. Okay, and then this is the main thing. So if this is, so I have like an arbitrary number of objects that I can pass to the doing background. What I'm passing are the credentials. These credentials are saved in shared preferences of the app. So I retrieve the credentials from the shared preferences and then I pass it to the background task. I have two options here. So if I only have or less than 5 objects here, it means I'm just testing. So that's why I have this if statement here. So I go do and do the test. And if it's not, then it's a normal use. I have the credentials, but I also have the arrays that I'm going to use. An array indicating the local files and an array indicating the server files. And then I have this function here. This function has also been uploaded. Um, this one here. Set up the JSCH, which is a library that I'm using to connect to the SFTP server. So that part here has been imported and I've done a few changes, but the source is still here. And then the rest is my code. Basically, I'm gonna go through each file that is still local and I'm gonna create a file input string and then get the location of the file. And then I'm just gonna use put. This call here uploads the file to the server. And then I set upload successful to the file, which means I'm checking this file and saying that the file has been uploaded successfully. And then I add it to my server media array. And that's how I'm going to keep track of which file has been saved to the server or not. And then I publish progress, which is basically the name of the file saying that it was uploaded successfully. Once I'm done, I'm going to save both local and server media to JSON files so I can use them later. And I finish my connection, and that's it. And those other functions are the functions that I use within this process. Okay, I'm using JSON with a G for goal for my JSON converting, where I read the files and also write back to them. Once I'm done, I have down here to here on post execute, which is basically once you're done what you're gonna do. So if it is the setup, I'm gonna start the home activity, which is here. And then if it's a normal use, I'm gonna just re-enable the buttons that I'm using so the user can try again if necessary. Okay, so I've explained that, and then media upload. So this is the home page. In Android, you have layouts to show what the user is gonna see. So for example, let me find, yeah, I'll show you setup. Let me minimize the emulator for now. So this is an XML file, all the XML code over here, and Android transforms it into drag and drop. So if I wanted, I could just go drag and drop all the buttons, the input files, and see how it's gonna look for the user. This is one of them. And then let me find the other one, media upload, which is basically home. I have the buttons, I have my views and everything. So this is media upload, and then I have a class that goes with it. And this access here on upload, check local, status view, local media, status messages are all references to that XML file. So once I have the buttons, I can add a few listeners to them. So for example, for the upload button, I'm gonna call the upload media class. For the check local button, which is check for the local files, I have this other button here. And that's basically it. So now let's have a little demonstration. So let's start debugging. The server should be running. Let me show you. Yep, now let me copy the IP. Then go back to the app. I'm running on the emulator right now. Let me clean the folder where the pictures are. And be happy. Okay, it worked. And now I'll just upload. Okay, as you can see, nothing was uploaded because my current JSON file says that everything has been uploaded. So let me delete that first. So right here in the pictures folder, we'll have both JSON files. I'll delete them. Back to the emulator, check again. So it's going to create the files and upload. Now the upload is happening. If you take a look here, the server is working and I have the status of all the images that are being uploaded. Still going. Have about 20 pictures. And that's it, it's done. Now let's take a look at the folder and you have all the images here. So that's basically it. So in short, you have the Java classes here, and some of them work in the background and some of them work to feed the UI over here. I'm using SJCH, which is a library to upload files to SFTP servers. I grab input file streams for each image, use the put method for the SS. I keep forgetting the name of that thing. It's JSH. I use the put method for the JSH library. Once the upload is complete, I save this information to a JSON file so I know what's in the server. And that was the code walkthrough for Media Server. Thanks for watching.